channel. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for the likes, the comments, and the shares. Please don't stop sharing this video. Please share. And if you're viewing for the first time, please kindly subscribe, like, and comment, and put on the notification button so you could be receiving notification from my new videos. And if you've not subscribed to my channel before now, please kindly subscribe. Don't get tired of listening to me go through this journey with me. And still on the chemotherapy experience. So today I will share chemo round 3 to 6 experience, because they're almost the same thing, except for a few days I had different experience. So chemo number 3, I almost killed myself by myself. And gosh, after my after second chemotherapy, a cancer survivor introduced me to one supplement she used that worked for her. She did not lose her hair, and most of the chemotherapy side effects she did not experience them. So she introduced me to that supplement. So I embraced it, not because of my hair, but because of the itching. I usually have serious body itching as a result of chemotherapy, so I needed something that will stop it. But then it didn't work for me that day, so I followed all the instructions vividly. On the day of chemotherapy, I wrote an exam that day. The exam was scheduled for 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. But before then, I'd already discussed that with the nurses. So they asked me to come after the exam. So I went very late that day. I got to the hospital around 1 p.m. So, and there were so many people that day. I don't really know what happened. So I waited for a long time before it got to my turn. Not just me, there were other people there that were there since morning. So because of that, I slept over at the hospital. The chemo drugs lasted till 4 a.m. in the morning, and I was with my sister, my brother, and my friend. So we left by 4 a.m. Then around 2 p.m. I started having diarrhea. Just like joke. We didn't know it was something serious, but it became very serious. So my sister called my doctor, but she did not tell him I took anything. No, she didn't. We didn't tell him because they had already warned us that we shouldn't take anything other than the doctor's prescription, and if we have to, we should discuss with the doctor. But I didn't discuss that with the doctor, so we didn't tell him that. So he asked us to come to the hospital, to the emergency clinic. We got there, but unfortunately there was no bed space, and I was very weak then. And not just that, I was still stooling and vomiting, so I was always going to the toilet. I was always at my sisters. My sisters have to hold me, because I was weak. So we couldn't wait for the doctor to come. We left the hospital to a private hospital, so they attended to me immediately. And so they attended to me immediately. They gave me an injection and placed me on a drip. I slept off, woke up in the morning, okay. So from there, I went straight to the hospital to take injection that I usually take 24 hours after the chemotherapy. The injection usually boosts the white blood cell. So guys, if you're currently going through treatment, don't take any prescription that is not from the doctors. Trust me, there are so many suggestions, so many prescriptions. Please don't take them. For the fact that it works for another does not mean it will work for you. Like in my own case, it worked for that woman, but it didn't work for me. It made things worse for me. You know, that could actually kill someone. That could actually be worse than that, but God did not allow it. Please take care of your health. Don't just take anything because it worked for somebody. It may not work for you. Okay, so that was all for chemo round 3. Chemo round 4 was just okay, no diarrhea. The only problem I usually have was my blood. I don't know, my period always ends that week, and it interferes with the treatment. It brings down my blood level. So but then I usually pick my results on Wednesday. Most times when I pick it, I go back to the lab for the test, and it comes out good, okay for the treatment. But the 5th one wasn't like that. When I picked my result, it was 29.9, and it should be up to 30 before you will be allowed to take chemotherapy. But it was 29.9, so I felt, well, that it's the same thing now. I'll just go back and do the test and it will be fine. So I went home, took garden egg leaf juice, ugu juice, and I went back to the hospital. I also took something, there's something someone introduced to me. She said it works fast, that it works very, very fast. She didn't know the name either. I don't know the name, and she didn't know it either, but they call it hospital is too far. So it actually have this awful smell, but I drank it anyway because I was so desperate. I needed my blood to come up, because doctor had already advised us to eat very well so that our blood doesn't go down. That it's not good to miss a treatment. So I didn't want to miss my treatment. I covered my nose and drank it. The next day, around 4 a.m., I started throwing up all my hustle for the blood, but I didn't feel that it would affect the blood. So I still went ahead for the test that morning, and instead of it going up, it reduced. So I went back home. I felt so bad. Because I never wanted to miss my treatment at all. So the nurses advised I build it naturally. So I went home, continued with the garden egg leaf juice, ugu juice, and so the next week I went back for the test again on Wednesday, and the blood was still low. So I felt so bad. I cried. I called the doctor. So he asked me to see him. When I got there, he asked me to go for blood transfusion immediately. So I asked if I will take chemotherapy the next day after the blood transfusion. He said to me, Uju, if someone asks you to take chemotherapy tomorrow after blood transfusion today, also means run in Igbo. He said, also, just run for your life. After blood transfusion, you have to wait for 48 hours, then do the test again. If it's okay, then you can take the chemotherapy. So automatically that day and that week I've missed chemotherapy again. So 2 weeks now. I cried. So I left and went straight to the church. It was a Wednesday communion service. So I went straight to the church and I just poured out my heart to God. So at the end of the service, one of my pastors asked the situation of things, so I discussed with him. So he told me that he is a donor and he would want to donate for me. Then my friend Mona, he also volunteered to donate blood for me. So two of them donated blood for me, and I had more than enough blood for the chemotherapy the next Thursday. So I had the chemo on the next Thursday. After that, 3 weeks later, I had the last chemotherapy. It actually affected it. It would have ended on the 13th of December, but because of that, it ended on the 24th of December 2019. Forever. Actually, it was supposed to end on the 26th, but because of the public holidays, so the doctor asked me to choose between 27th and 24th. So I chose 24th, and that was the end of chemotherapy forever and ever. Oh God, thank God. It wasn't an easy journey, but sometimes we are not grateful for what God is doing. We concentrate more on things that are not working. The doctor told me that chemotherapy usually stop monthly period for most ladies, and after the treatment it would return. But my own case, it was every month. Like I never missed it. It was even interfering with my treatment, and I kept lamenting. So I learned to be grateful to God. I learned to be grateful and to people who were there for me. So, and I remember someone even told me that women don't give birth after chemotherapy, that those that see their period during chemotherapy that have chances of giving birth to children. Please, this is not right. It's not right. Even if you know about this, even if you know it, just keep it to yourself. If you're saying it from a genuine heart, you could pray about it instead of discussing it with someone that is already going through a thing. Cancer itself is enough for someone to handle. Don't bring anything that will weigh the person down emotionally. Someone has to be alive first to give birth, right? So let the person stay alive first before you start discussing that. And please, let the doctors advise the patients. Let the doctors discuss the side effects with the patient. They are in the right position. They know everything. They know these things. So they know the right way to communicate it with the patients. Please don't discuss any of the side effects. What you should do is be there for the patients. Give hope. Don't say things that will bring them down emotionally. So guys, thanks for viewing. Thank you for viewing. Remember, it could have been worse, but God did not allow it. So if God did not allow it, He's going to bring you out of this situation and you will be just fine. And please don't stop checking. Don't stop checking yourself. You are not just looking out for lump. There are other things to look out for, like dripping, pulled nipple, dimpling, redness or rash. Please, you are not looking for cancer. You are developing long positive relationship with your body. So please don't stop. And let's loud it. Cancer is not a death sentence. Early detection and treatment is the key to survival. Thank you for viewing. See you in my next video. Bye.